This is 1:15. Hey guys, we're celebrating Asher this evening, but cows still have to be milked. Oh, my lens is fogging up a little bit. It is pretty warm out here. Hey cows! I don't know if they see me. Yeah, Hope hears me. You'll see them coming down over there. Oh, they're running. Hey girls! Milking time! Yay! Let's do it! Milking time! Look at those voluptuous ladies. Come on! So now that the school year is over, I have taken over the evening milking from Maya. But I hand milk, whereas he usually uses the machine because it's just Hope in the evening, since Hallie is still on Helen. And I really missed it. I missed milking. Hey girl, you get milked? So Hope is really bad about throwing her grain up because she picks her head up. So what we've been doing is putting this lead on her and just tying it back to this so she can't pick her head up that high because she was wasting a lot of grain. I definitely don't want to waste. Tying her also serves to slow her down because homegirl eats like a Marine at boot camp, and it is intense. So what we were doing is getting her on and then milking as fast as we could. When hand milking, you had about 12 minutes to get 3 gallons of milk out, which was really difficult. And then we were having to deal with Hallie and getting her up and giving Helen time to eat without Hope getting to it. It was just really difficult. So this has helped a lot to tie her down. That's Jeremiah's innovation. He figured that out. I don't know how he figures things out, but he does. Also, we basically had to just like give her more grain if she got through it and we weren't done. And we don't want her eating too much grain. It's supposed to be a supplement, not a ton of it. Alright, now I'm gonna get Hallie. Oh, you got mud on your face. Alright, she's getting to where she knows the drill. So she goes up. Good girl. Y'all, Hallie's little cute mini udder is coming in and is just adorable. And I can add that to the list of things that I never thought I'd say in my life. Seriously. Oh, she's not gonna show it. Isn't she just a beautiful little calf, little heifer? She is so cute, and she's very sweet. She's really warming up to us. We've been handling her a lot. So, I don't think that I actually updated you guys on Heffy, the little orphan calf that we were really trying to graft to Hope. We were really struggling, and I finally had my friend Hannah take her. I gave her to Hannah, Hannah's the one that Hope came from, and Hope's mom is also obviously a full Jersey cow that is just got a much more docile, gentle personality. Hope has got a big personality. She was just not doing well with Heffy, and we really were trying, but basically we would make a lot of progress like in a stall, but as soon as we set them both out in the field, Hope would not let Heffy eat, and Heffy was so timid. Hannah told me that in all of her dealings with cows, that was the most timid calf that she had ever seen. So Hannah took Heffy and very quickly got her grafted onto Faith, Hope's mom. I really hope that this doesn't get my camera messed up. And Faith has been taking good care of her. She has another nurse calf on her, another bottle baby calf that is grafted on that she's feeding right now. And so it was kind of like a non-issue for Heffy to just join in with the other baby. So she's doing well. She looks fantastic. Hannah sends me updates on her. And I know that that was the right decision. It was hard because I didn't want to give up on her. But it was to the point that like this wasn't working and the calf was suffering, because we would set her out in the field and we'd see her trying to eat, but we couldn't really gauge whether she was, so then we would have to try to catch her to let her eat in here with her tied up. It just wasn't going well. And it is now. So you win some, you lose some. I think it was a good idea to want to do a grafted calf to alleviate some of the, you know, obligation of milking, because had that worked and she'd gotten grafted, then we wouldn't have to milk in the evening. But we spent so much effort trying to graft the calf that by the end of it we were like, oh, just milk in the evening? Yeah, that's fine. Let's just do that. Honestly, now Hallie she was born January 29th, so I mean she's coming up. We'll probably start weaning her a little after 6 months. Honey, we let her stay on, I think, too long, and she still tries to nurse when she gets around Hope, so I don't know. I might in the future, if I have like a really very docile cow, I might try to raise a grafted calf, especially to like have maybe a steer or something like that to raise for meat. I could see Helen being a good nurse cow because she's just very, very docile. But this girl right here, she's got as much attitude as she does milk, and she's giving us 5 gallons a day, so that's saying something. Alright, you guys are actually under a cow right now. How does that feel? So one of the things I'm doing, which I'm not doing it tonight because the boys are inside for the party, but I'm actually having my 3 little boys for summer, while they're not at school, they're taking turns to do evening hand milking with me. Because since we got cows, they've been going to school. And so they you know, they've done some milking on like weekends and stuff, but it hasn't been like a regular chore. And I really wanted them to get to experience that. So for the summer, they're taking turns and coming out and doing hand milk. I can still milk her out in like less than 15 minutes. She is what you want. If you are in the market for a cow and if you have a desire to hand milk, make sure that cow's teats are longer. Other things I didn't ever think that I was gonna say, but Helen has really, really small teats, and you just about have to milk her with the machine. It takes about 45 minutes to milk her, and you can tell you're still not getting everything out, which of course can lead to mastitis infection. Hope's the queen for hand milking. She's very easy to hand milk. Like I said, I can get it done in about 13 minutes. When I first started hand milking her again in the evenings, she wasn't letting down, and so I was only getting like a gallon, and now it seems to be coming back to her, because I just got about probably a little over 2 gallons, which is pretty typical. Probably get like 2.5 with the machine, but we're getting back into the groove of things. And I've been milking, it's been a little bit earlier. We've been milking at about 7 in the morning, and then around like 6 in the evening is what I've been aiming for. Right now it's just a little bit later than that because we're having the party. But you want to stay on a schedule like as best you can. It doesn't have to be exactly 12 hours apart, but you want to be at roughly like 12 or 13 hours apart. And I mean, it can be a little off. Honestly, you just have to be somewhat routine, whatever it is that you do. Right, girl? She said yes. She's such a diva. I just love her. It didn't take me long of getting a dairy cow to learn why people are like so invested emotionally in their cows. I mean, you just spend a lot of time with them, but their personalities just end up being so much. And we talk about how Hope is a diva and Helen is a lady, and it's so true. Hey. Yeah.
she is.
I'm a farmer. I did good.
You did good.
I did.
I mean, I know what I'm doing usually, but I also, you know, poke the skid steer through the side of the barn, so.
You did drive the skid steer through the side of the barn.
Slid. I want to make sure it was slid.
Today, Jeremiah slid the skid steer through the side of the barn.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened.
I fixed it already.
Yeah, he fixed it. I guess that's what happens when you try to work in the rain.
That's what happens when you work with heavy equipment in a hurry in the rain.
Just like a trifecta of no good.
Yeah, I just stood there and just watched with the thing just poking through the barn. I was just looking at it like.
You patched it though? Can you?
Yeah, it's right there. You can't see it now.
Oh, nice. How did you patch it?
When they built the barn, they left some pieces of leftover metal. I happened to have 2 pieces that were long enough that after I cut out the bad stuff, we were able to fix the 2x6 that got destroyed.
Oh, it hit a 2x6.
Went straight through it.
Oh, man.
And then replace the 2 pieces and basically patch it back together.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, Jeremiah came in and I could tell he had a little thundercloud over his head, and I was like, what's going on? And he's like, I just poked a hole in the barn with a skid steer. Thankfully, we did have the metal left over from building the barn, and he was able to patch it, and now it's fixed and no harm done. Things happen. That is the theme of farm life. You better be prepared for things to go wrong, because it's going to happen. And are you going to let it ruin your day or no? Will you carry this heavy pail in? Thanks.
I could do this weather all day.
This weather, oh yeah.
This is nice.
It is very nice. It's very humid, but it's just a cool breeze. It's a storm blowing in. Oh, hey, Gabriel. What's up, man? Hey, sweet boy. Look at all these goaties. You know, the sun is setting behind the trees, and it's so lovely. My camera actually died, so when I took the milk in, I grabbed another battery because I want to run out to the garden and check on some things, and I wanted to take you guys with me. We have really stormy weather coming in for the next handful of days. We're supposed to get quite a bit of rain. And the other day, I went into Lowe's, just a local Lowe's, and they had a bunch of these sedums, as well as a bunch of thyme on, like creeping thyme, chintz thyme, on their clearance rack. And I have to tell you that buying a clearance rack plant, knowing that I was going to bring it home and give it life, was like a gold star for me as a gardener. So I always joked that my mother was like a rehab for plants, where even a plant just on the brink could go and make a full recovery and thrive and live a healthy life. And that my home was like hospice care, where we would try to ease the suffering in the end for plants, because I could not bring something back to life. I could take perfectly healthy plants and kill them. And for so long, I just bemoaned my lack of ability to grow. And the real truth is, if you are the kind of person that's like, I kill everything, I can't grow anything, that's not true. You just haven't learned yet. And frankly, I've killed a lot of plants. I imagine I'll probably kill quite a few more. The trick is just planting enough that you just don't notice as much that some died. Killing plants is part of the process. It doesn't mean you're a bad gardener. And honestly, the more you learn, the less plants you kill. And you still always kill some plants. But I got these for all these sedums and thymes. The thymes were like $1. These were like $3, $4. They're different prices on these trays. And I was really glad, because I'm going to need a lot of ground cover to go between all of this flagstone. And oh my gosh, guys. Hold on. Okay, I'm just laughing at myself. I just caught a glimpse of this around me. I thought there was a person standing there. I was like, who is that? I'm used to a lot of people being around, but like not at dusk on a weekend evening. I was like, who is standing by? Bless my own heart. Anyway, it is funny, these little milestones. So I bought these clearance rack plants. There are a lot of things on the clearance rack at Lowe's, and a lot of times you can find really good plants at these box stores that they'll clearance because just like somebody didn't water and therefore they got some damage. Anytime there's a late freeze after you know, it's been consistently warm and then there's this you know, freak freeze, I always go check clearance racks because inevitably there's like tons of plants that got frost damage that the store had set out too early. But just because they're damaged doesn't mean they're useless, and a lot of times they can be brought back. Well, it's getting pretty empty here in the greenhouse, as you can see. We had a couple of very hot days this week where it was nearly 100 Fahrenheit, 36 Celsius, and we moved a lot of the stuff out of the greenhouse because we don't have the vents on in here yet, and I didn't want anything to get killed. I still have quite a few things to plant out, but I don't have the spaces already yet. So this week, I think we're going to be moving a lot of this stuff down to by the high tunnels so we can start spreading these gardens out and working on the other beds so I can have more room to put stuff in the ground. I usually try to go out and check everything in the greenhouse before I go to bed. You know, I looked at it earlier, but being in birthday party mode, I wasn't out here today working. Probably going to see a huge explosion of growth out here over the course of this week with all the rain that we're getting. Rainwater has tons of like soluble nitrogen and minerals and stuff in it that just makes the garden explode. Wow, even just today, these have changed. They're growing. I mean, some of these tomatoes, I kid you not, they're growing like, oh gosh, little killdeer bird, you just startled me even though I knew you were there. Look at her, she's pretending to be hurt. She's luring me away from her nest. There it is. Little darling, we're gonna share this garden whether you like it or not. Yeah, these things are growing like inches every day. It is wild. It's really about time for me to prune them. I still have quite a bit of space to put things that I haven't put in the ground yet. Y'all give me some suggestions. What should I grow with my extra space? I've got so much stuff growing already. I'm making the adjustment into this larger space, and I'm trying to grow things that I know I can use and preserve, but I've already told Will I'm gonna have to send some of my extra produce with them to their farmers market booth. I also am working with another local friend who has a ministry that gets food to people who need it, and I'll probably end up sending stuff to her. I kind of just wanted to plant a lot because with our soil being new and all of our beds being new, I just wasn't sure how it was gonna go. And my thought was, we have the space, we have the time, we might as well go ahead and get these spaces started and plant them. And then if they do really well, we'll just have a ton of extra. And then if they do okay, we'll have enough. I'm running out of light, but I really wanna show you guys one more thing. Actually, the rain is starting to come in too. Well, darn, I drove down here to the pond and all the frogs got really quiet. We have these massive bullfrogs on the pond and they're so loud, as well as like the peeper frogs, and it's like a chorus. It's not always possible, but whenever possible, I try to be outside during this time. I've been out here long enough. I should probably go back in and help Jeremiah out with a house full of kids. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I bless you. Until next time.